Want to make sure you are up to date with everything on this channel? Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell. Also, don't forget more detailed versions of this video are on my blog, and you can also subscribe to the newsletter in the description. At the date of this blog posting, the Hohem iSteady Multi 3-in-1 Gimbal's price is at roughly $149. So it goes without saying that this gimbal might be a perfect candidate for any blogger or vlogger looking for a way to stabilize their selfie and lifestyle photography video footage at a low price. I wanted to review the Hohem iSteady gimbal because the cameras it is made to support, cell phones, action cams, and point-and-shoot cameras, are all those that vloggers use. So let's check it out. The Hohem iSteady Multi comes with a standard 3-axis base gimbal. To place your camera, Hohem offers 3 different adapters that revolve around a standard camera base plate with a standard camera D-ringed 1/4 mount screw. Hohem offers 2 Manfrotto styles in the box. This gimbal comes in a neoprene type carrying case, which is very decent. Other components in the box include the Sony multi-camera control cable, a very sturdy, well-made tripod for the base, and a hex or Allen wrench. All aspects of the build quality of this gimbal are good. The base, handle, and controls are made of plastic, but this is far from being a deal breaker. The plastic is solid and sturdy. The moving parts section of this gimbal is made of solid aluminum. Everything that moves on the top end of the gimbal, from the thumb screws to the axis arms, are top-notch. There were a few ergonomic aspects that I found particularly beneficial with this gimbal. First of all, the standard screw on the bottom of the gimbal is very strong. The 1/4 screw on the side was a nice touch, I found, for those wanting to add an accessory on the side like a monitor or a phone. I also really like the larger size of the handle. I have big hands and it is appreciated. The gimbal also has a good, solid, and heavy tripod base. Even though it adds to the weight of the gimbal, I appreciated how sturdy it could make the gimbal when you put it on the side while you're waiting to do a shot. Now I'm going to put chapters in this video, and this chapter is all about the cold hard specs. I will list them right here with some really nice music. Balancing the gimbal is easy. Using the thumb screws and the visual paper instruction manual, I was up and running quickly with my Sony ZV-1 point and shoot. Now, controlling the gimbal in standalone mode, you can control iSteady Multi's direction and angle positions using a universal thumb control lever on the handle. It works very well and reaction time is good. There is a button that allows you to switch between different follow modes depending on how many times you press it. You can confirm what mode you're in with the number of blinks the mode indicator displays. Working modes are pan following, pan tilt following, all locked, all following, and sport mode. This gimbal comes with a trigger button on the other side of the controls and will bring your camera back to the center when you tap it twice. When you hold this button down, it allows your gimbal to go into sport mode, where you can track movement quicker than usual. However, I never found myself needing this mode for my blogging needs, but it is a nice to have. Now, my first experience was to use this gimbal with the Sony ZV-1 point and shoot camera with the Sony multi-cable attached. This cable allows you to control a Sony compatible camera with the gimbal's physical controls. For the Sony ZV-1, using zoom, take photo, and start and stop video recording worked flawlessly with the buttons on the gimbal. Really cool. I was able to control all of the control functions while in the Hohem iSteady Multi-Mobile Plus smartphone software for Android 5.0 and iPhone 9 and up. When you establish an initial Bluetooth handshake, the software asks you to pick between point and shoot, action cam, or smartphone, whatever is mounted on your camera, and away you go. When I picked a point and shoot camera, the software offered a visual control interface that worked pretty well. It gave me the following choices: wide, tele, photo, shutter release, and control record on and off if the cable was attached, all gimbal parameters, calibration functions, firmware updates, and all lapse style functions under motion lapse. It was pretty darn good. I'd also like to point out that the Hohem iSteady Multi does boot up very quickly, so when you are using it and you need to save some battery, you can shut it off. Do not worry. Within seconds, if you have that magic moment, it can happen for you. You press the button and it's up and running. When mounting an Android phone on the iSteady Multi, the application is okay. When using my Android LG G8 as a camera, I also found that some of the zoom and autofocus functions were a bit choppy. I've seen better app implementations with other gimbals. I would have to say that this is one of the biggest cons of this gimbal package. I believe strongly in the idea that 95% of people who get selling point extras like hyperlapse and subject tracking try them out and just give up on them after a while. Real life applications are a bit different for the vlogger. I advise you to give yourself the time to try each feature out, but do not waste time trying to make it work for you. Therefore, if you want to get this gimbal for the slow motion and tracking features on a cell phone camera, I would advise you to look elsewhere. I mounted a GoPro Hero 4 using the mounting bracket and the base plate supplied by the Hohem gimbal. It mounted and balanced well. The only problem is that the angle of the level axis arm is 90 degrees. My experience has shown me that there's a real advantage to having the leveler axis arm at a 45-degree angle. If this arm is at 90 degrees, the GoPro camera knocks the gimbal when you are angling the camera down. Hence, you cannot use the gimbal at all angles of operation. But most importantly, the essential is there. The Hohem iSteady Multi does what it needs to do. It stabilizes the GoPro, but does so with quite a bit of limitation in the movement opportunities. The pros and cons of the Hohem iSteady Multi are: quick balancing, solid and practical, great one-stop solution, solid and wide tripod mount, lovely utility software for calibration, lapse functions, and even 2 operators. The side 1/4 mount is a nice touch. For the cons, the gimbal arm is right angled, somewhat limits the action of the camera mount. The phone software is just okay. Manual and instructions could be better. Subject tracking and zoom functions on the phone camera app are not great. The supplied mounting for the GoPro gives the action cam a high center of gravity and therefore forces the gimbal motors. So who is the Hohem iSteady Multi for? Here's what I believe. If you are a blogger or vlogger who needs steady footage and you have a point and shoot camera, this gimbal is really a good option for you. Paired together with a small rig, low center of gravity mounting system, it is also excellent for those who have an action cam for their selfie video work. For those people who rely on a phone to get their footage, there are a whole bunch of really cool and even cheaper offerings out there. The Xeon Smooth comes to mind. The smartphone camera app implementation is okay, but nothing extraordinary. Therefore, this gimbal is a good choice for those not wanting to spend a great deal of money but need a more in-depth application of their action camera or point-and-shoot camera selfie footage. For owners of both camera systems, it is a great gimbal. Remember that the most important thing is to go out and get captivating footage. That's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.